So great to have my dear friend Dan Currie out to the house for a chat. He's a singer-songwriter and rips a guitar solo like no one else. We talked about the artist's innate need to create, his habit of finishing things, and how he still thinks about playing guitar all day long.
Art, I want you. Art, you make it pretty hard not to. And my heart is trying hard here to follow you, but I can't always tell if I ought to.
All right, today we've got Dan Currie. Yay, Dan, welcome.
Hi, Andrea.
I've been starting off a lot of episodes pretty much the same way, and they've been like, well, we've known each other for a long time, but I don't really know much about you before. Yay. So I'd love to hear how you got started playing guitar and how you got started writing songs.
The funny thing is, guitar has been an ongoing thing. I was really lucky. My father played guitar, and there was musicians in my family. My grandmother's family were all musicians, and my Uncle John's wife, her brothers all played music, and I was really lucky that I grew up around a lot of the best musicians around Charlottetown. It's kind of funny because I remember I played my father's guitars, and when I was 8 or 9, he got me my own. And I can remember thinking, like, when I was 9, I better get at this and get good at it soon. I felt like time was running out. Like, I want to be, yeah, like, so then, by 10, 11, I got my first electric guitar when I was 12. And as far as writing songs, it's kind of funny because I was born in 76, so I grew up in the 80s, and all the bands played covers. There wasn't really original bands. Like we were friends with the guys in Haywire, and even when you'd go to see them, they never played their own songs. They played covers, like and which was funny because then when they did put out their albums, their songs didn't sound anything like they did at the Sherwood Sportsplex. But anyway, so yeah, and I was writing songs. It's like I couldn't figure out songs I wanted to learn, so I'd make up songs of my own that were kind of... And later when I got in bands and stuff, and, and then it was the early 90s, and original music all of a sudden became cool. And I already had all these songs that I had made up, and I played in a couple of bands, and I had a 4-track, and anyway, I was in a band one time. I think I was 15 or 16, and just me and the drummer and the other guitar player were at my mom's for the weekend. She was gone. We were recording some of my songs on my 4-track, and they were like, wow, you're a really good singer and songwriter. And then they kicked the singer and other guy out of the band, and all of a sudden I was leading a band, and I never really ever intended to be a singer or a songwriter. I just really only ever cared about playing guitar, and still, like, I'm not as good as I want to be, and I think about it all day, and I spend a lot of money on it.
What do you think? I'm really curious about what's the difference for you between playing your own songs with your own band as the front person versus just being like a side guy ripping it up on guitar on the side of the stage.
It's all different. Like, my own thing is my own thing, of course. Like, well, you were in my band before, and you've had your own bands that I've been in, and there's I don't know, it's definitely more fulfilling and for sure.
For me, I feel like there's more of like an inner connection. Like I'm fulfilling a purpose when I'm doing my own
and it's
stuff.
funny that you say that because like I do play in Muddy Buddy, which is a popular cover band on PEI, and I've been with them for quite a while, and it's a lot of fun, and I get the rock shows there, but like doing my own stuff. It's kind of funny because and I play guitar for Dennis. It's great to be in a lot of different bands. Dennis Ellsworth. Because I get to like play a lot of styles and open myself up
Mm-hmm.
and like learn new things all the time. But as far as like with my own stuff, it's definitely more fulfilling and it's tiring. It's funny. Like if I just go play a gig that I'm a guitar player, like it's just a day at work. I
Yeah.
enjoy it
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, but no, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done a Dan Currie show since 2016.
Has it been that long?
It really has.
Wow.
Remember, we played at the Haviland, remember?
Yeah.
And I'm really busy in other bands and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I just I needed to make money for a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of years there, and my own thing just wasn't doing it,
Yeah.
making any money. You can make
Yeah.
money playing guitar for other people. You can't make money playing guitar for yourself.
Yeah. 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 And for me, I love those gigs where I just get to show up and be a backup singer, or
Oh, it's great.
backup singer for me is the is the perfect one. I just show
Oh,
up with my microphone and my tambourine.
the ones I
I
miss the
love it.
most, I haven't had one in a while where I just played the mandolin,
Mm,
so that was good. It's a pretty small thing to carry
I
around.
know, right? Yeah. In the times that you were gigging a lot with your own band, and writing at the same time, were you ever writing like for the show, like for the fans, like for
Yeah,
the stage kind of thing?
I would say writing's so funny. Like, I've gone through so many stages of just what it is to me and what it means to me or whatever. And I don't think I realized, like, till the last couple of years as I watch, say, my children grow up. I have 3 kids, and 2 of them are artists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I say, my grandmother's family was all musicians, and my father's father was a really talented artist. He could paint and sculpt. He could do, and I just don't think I realized, um, if you have that, it's just this need to express yourself. Like I think it's why I got tattoos when I was like 12 and 13. I just like so badly needed to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Say
express,
something.
say something. I
Yeah.
don't even know. It was just to be like alive and hear and create and I don't know. I'm also like a pretty spiritual person and I do believe like, that not to get weird or philosophical, but like, to be created in God's image, what could be more in that image than to create? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Yep.
and I just feel like I've always just had this need to write or build or make
Make
things.
something.
Yeah.
Definitely a common theme running through a lot of my talks with people is that feeling that drive or the need to create something, and how it makes people feel like themselves whenever they do it.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably when I'm most at myself,
Mm-hmm.
that that something can go from a thought to a song isn't necessarily something you can hold, but it's something that goes from your imagination into the world, like
Mm-hmm.
to like,
Yep.
and whatever that means, whether you're a carpenter or a whatever, like just to make something from the bare bones of what you have, I think it's just so amazingly human,
Yeah. Yeah.
that,
Yeah. I might even say it's what makes us human. Is
well, that's probably one of the things that
yeah.
definitely, birds build nests, but I'm not sure it's quite like, and they sing songs too, I guess, but it's not to the level.
No. No. Exactly. And when it comes to writing, like, do you think your writing has changed over the years? Do you think you're writing about different stuff now than you
Yeah.
were when you were 10?
Yeah. Well,
Let's say 15, 20.
well, no, I would have said I probably wrote my first song when I was 10 or 11. I couldn't remember it, but there's definitely like, it's funny. I only, like 3 years ago, I reworked a song I wrote when I was 16, so it's like and there's, if anybody remembers Eyes for Telescopes, there was a couple of the songs that I wrote for that band that we recorded that I wrote when I was 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, Pat too, Pat Dean, he had a lot of songs around for a long time. Like, there's a guy who's a great songwriter too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But has, for a long time has been more of a champion of other people, it seems.
Well, what Pat is, it's funny, we grew up together and we only grew up a couple houses away from one another on the same block on Euston Street.
Mm.
But when we were teenagers and stuff, Pat, like it's amazing. Well, it's not. It's funny how things evolve. Like Pat was always good at putting on shows and getting people out to shows, and well, now that's his job.
Yeah.
You know, so he's always been really, really good at that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever compare your work to other musicians?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's another thing that's very human. We tend to compare ourselves to everybody, but I try not to too much. Like I try to it's good to let your influences shine for sure, but not to the point that you're, stealing or anything. I have a very wide, a lot of music has inspired me though. Like I could never really, like I said, I was really lucky growing up. Like I was exposed to so much good music and just, and even just, like I say, my mother's family, some of them were fanatical Catholics and others were like hippies and stuff. And it and everybody was cool with everybody. And I was just really, really, really lucky to grow up in the time and place because I was just able to be me, and I would have been anyway because I don't have any other choice, but there was no real fight in it, like.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing telling you otherwise.
Yeah, I was, really, really lucky to be able to express myself and continue to be able to really, like, my wife's a musician, the guy I work for is a musician, like, my children support me. I don't think that, well, anybody that knows me, I think that if you tried to squish that in me, I'd probably just stop or I'd run away or
implode
or something. Poof. Well, I wouldn't be around whoever was trying to.
Yeah. What about competition? Do you think like competition and like think back to when you were in like more in the music industry and there was more bands going along and you were kind of fighting for gigs and
I would have said I was very competitive or very like I think that's such a thing that a lot of musicians get into, and I got lucky a couple of times too and got in some really popular bands. And then when they fall apart, you just maybe assume that your next band is going to be just as successful, and it just isn't. Sometimes not, and it comes and goes. Sometimes, it can be really awesome, and then other times it can't, but you think any band, I mean, take the Rolling Stones out of the mix. Think of a rock band that lasted more than 3 years or 4 years, like really, like, it's just sad or just very, the reality of music is just that. It has a shelf life. An artist has a shelf life. It's.
Did you think when you were younger that you were going to be in a band like the Rolling Stones?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But when I was young, I didn't think I was going to get this old either. So,
yeah,
a lot happened and didn't happen that I thought or didn't think was going to take place. But, at the end of all that, it's just really like, what do you want? What's life all about? Like, like I said, I'm so, so lucky in every regard. Like, I have my little studio at home. I get to write and record as much or as often as I feel the need to. And I play guitar for other people in it. Like, I have a really well-balanced music life, I feel like. And as far as the competition, like, there used to be a time, but I also feel like it's just changed so much. Like when we were younger and when it started, when we'd be like first traveling and stuff like that, you'd have a bag of quarters and a map. There was no like phones or YouTube or like
Yep.
people wanted to go out to hear your band. And if they paid $5 to get into the bar, they wanted to like you.
Mm-hmm.
So people invested in it. Now there's just no social investment in music. So it's just kind of there. It's not. Maybe it's just not in style the way it was when we were kids. Do you know, like,
Well, I don't know if it's like, this is probably obvious, but it doesn't have the value that it used to, right? Because now you can access it all for free, essentially.
well, that's part of it. I just think other things are cooler now to kids. Like
Mm.
I don't ever hear my kids. I mean, my oldest son, he's always been into music and he always talked about music and everything. But I really noticed, like, and he's a little older than my other two kids. And I noticed with the kids that are teenagers right now, they don't talk about music artists. So you hear them talk about YouTube videos or memes or like
Right. Yeah.
TikTok challenges and stuff. Like nobody's really talking about movies or TV shows or like, I think it's
Mm.
just like, that's what old people do
Right.
to
Yeah.
them, like
Hmm.
I didn't really care about the newspaper. I wanted to watch TV, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Same. There
it's
you go.
kinda,
Maybe it's a more natural cycle. Maybe it'll come back around.
maybe, but I just think like we all got to be kind of all right with that. There's gladiators were like super popular in Rome for like 300 years. And when was the last time anybody did that?
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
I don't need to, but
Yeah.
I guess trends just come and go. And it's unfortunate in that regard, but music had a really good run. Like
Yeah.
it was
As a popular
super.
thing. Like, it's not like it's ever going to disappear or anything. And
Well,
it's
no,
always
it's
going to
so
be
much
around. But
about being human,
yeah.
again, but like, think about that. Like when Mozart and Beethoven were the biggest thing in the planet, they couldn't have been the only two composers at the time, but the only two people anybody remembers. There had to be thousands then, too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
not that makes it like, why bother, but really, like, things come
Well,
and go.
yeah, they come and go. And I think what's important is that people understand what that art form means to them. And maybe it just becomes more of an internal thing, or more of it happens in people's houses, on a smaller scale
Yeah,
rather than
and
in the
maybe in
big
some
halls.
ways that'll just make it cooler anyway.
Yeah.
Because, like a lot of times as the musicians, I know a lot of the music I listen to, most people that aren't musicians wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. Like, so I don't know if that'll ever change. People that are into stuff are into it deep, and then everybody
Mm-hmm.
else just kind of knows the surface,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, and now that I'm in my mid to late 40s, I'm realizing that there's so much happening out there that I don't give a shit about. And I
right.
have I don't know. I'm
And
listening
how
to the
much
same music
was,
over and over again.
though,
Um,
always, right? Like there
yeah.
was things
Yeah,
people were into that we thought
exactly.
were boring or lame or whatever. Wasn't
Yeah.
cool to us,
Yeah.
They probably thought, get a job. But again, it's like, what do you want out of life? It doesn't really make much difference. Like, you can't take it with you and all that stuff. So it's like, what do you want to do with your time when you're here? Do
Yeah.
you want to be you and do your thing, or do you want to do somebody else's? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I guess some people like doing what other people do, and other people just like to do what they like to do themselves. I guess that's.
Yep.
I was just lucky that what I like to do was kind of cool for a really long time.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I did that and that I could do that and that I could still do it if I wanted to. But,
Oh, yeah.
it's not like anything's stopping me.
Well, the thing, even then, like we've both done this in different bands and by ourselves and stuff. Like, first of all, to write a song is kind of a big deal.
Mhm.
Really,
Yep.
like, I mean, anybody can do it if they want, but like to do it and then to write like a handful of them and go into a studio and make an album and spend a bunch of time and money, like, even if nothing ever comes of it, just the fact that you took that upon yourself to really like do that for yourself. That's a
Mhm.
big thing, making an album.
Yep.
Whether anyone hears it or not, it's in the world and you did that,
Yep.
like, and
And
that's
that's a
really
piece
cool.
of you out there in the world that you have no control over who's gonna hear it, Like,
Right.
it's very
And
vulnerable.
it is, but then it's amazing, like, because there's been times I've been like, "Oh, I wanna get out there and find every single CD or tape or anything I've
Yeah.
ever," and no one ever listened to me again, and then just out of nowhere, someone will say, "You know, that song, yeah, that meant a lot to me, and that got me through a hard time," and then you go, "That's," because yourself, there's certain songs that have done that for you, so if something you did that for someone else, even if it's one person, that's, like,
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep.
You know, that your idea, like I was talking about, you just had this idea one day, and then the next thing you know, it's in the world and it's affecting people. Like, it's
So
pretty
where do you think
awesome.
the ideas come from?
The ether somewhere. I do
Yeah.
believe that. I just think I'm an antenna. I've heard it said before, but I truly, truly believe that because I know when I'm in the zone and I'm writing, it just feels like it's coming through me.
Yeah.
It's like, but I believe I'm an antenna anyway. Like, I kind of weird that way. I think my consciousness lives outside my body, and that my
Mhm.
body's just a radio kind of receiving me. I'm somewhere else anyway, so it just makes sense to me that everything is like that. Like, I don't truly believe I believe the consciousness made up the physical world, not the other way around. So I know I'm getting out there, but I think it's all one thing,
Mhm.
like it's
Mhm.
like any potential is in the air here somewhere, whether that's a person or a song or an idea or
Mhm.
uh, whatever. It's just like we're like TVs or radios picking up ourselves and our ideas or something. I know it's
Yeah.
kind of
No,
acid talk, but I truly think it's like,
I think I believe that too, actually.
yeah,
And there's been some great people out there in the world, big famous authors, that have said things like, I had this idea and I thought about it for like a year for a book and I didn't write it. And then I met up with this other author that I never see. And then she told me this idea and it was exactly the same.
right. Like you
And
hear
she wrote
that
the
a
book.
lot. Like it seems like different ideas come into the world at the same time. Like the telephone and the radio, each one of those were like invented by two different guys at like basically the exact same time. So it
Yep.
was time for that to come into the world. So I think that's probably the same, I guess. It's like wherever we're coming from is wherever
Mhm.
the creation comes from or whatever. Like, I also think that you and me could write the same song and interpret it different. Like we could sit in the room and pick up
Yep.
that wave
Yep.
or whatever, and it'll come out of us completely different ways, even though
Yep.
it's the same.
Because it's filtered through our own lives and
Yeah, you're
experiences. And
right.
yeah.
Yeah, through your lens or whatever, through
Yeah.
your filter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know that. I think anybody that's an artist of any way will kind of say something similar, and then I think we all kind of have maybe that spiritual view too, where because we can see where the ideas come from, then maybe that's sort of the same place we come from too, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
Yep.
Makes the most sense to me, but
Mhm. I'm wondering if have you ever When let's say you finished a record, think of one of the albums that you've made, solo records. Was there a track on that record that you thought was going to be like, this is going to be like the one, this is the single, this is the one that's everyone, and then there was a completely different song
Yeah,
that was
that's
like,
happened to me like every time.
why does that keep happening to people?
Uh,
Because we never know what other people are going to.
well, because I think it's like this. Again, it goes back to because I've always noticed it tends to be the songs that I write in 10 or 15 minutes. It's like whatever happened that day, I was like completely like in tune with the sky or whatever, and it just flowed through me so effortlessly.
Those are the ones that people love.
And those
saying?
seem to be the ones that people like. It's like the ones that I toil over and meticulously tear apart and put back together and think I've just created this like such articulate piece of work that it's like it seems to get lost on people or something. But I think that's probably what it is. You're not letting it flow, and you're putting too many squares in your circles or whatever, you know, like.
Yeah.
But again, I've always been pretty good at that. Like, I can kind of turn my fountain on and off at will. Like, I wasn't always like that, but the last few years, I definitely, like, if I just feel like writing, I can do it. Like, or I can sort of form ideas and let them kind of swim around for a little bit and then just get it. Like,
do you think that's like that's just a natural progression of somebody that has spent most of their life writing songs?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's like anything. Like, if you exercise a muscle.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's funny because it was like guitar parts I never had really hard. I can pick up a guitar and I make up it happens. Where lyrics I used to always have a little harder time. But this last handful of years, I've really hit a stride, or maybe it's more of a confidence or something, or like I'm better at pulling my lines apart and putting them back together more cleverly or something, like more simply. It's like it's like everything, eh? It's like it's simple to make your life hard, hard to make it simple. Like it's like it seems it takes a long time to get to like that Hank Williams thing where you can have a really small vocabulary and say a lot with very few words. Like I think you go back. There's something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think as a poet, you kind of go through a little phase where you think you got to learn like a whole lot of big, complicated words, and then no one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Simple is key. To me, my goal always with songwriting, or at least for the last like maybe 10 years, has been like, how do I make this as simple as it can be and yet still be as beautiful as I want it to be? You know, like it's that fine line between like eloquence and simplicity.
Yeah, that's true. I did a couple things too. I did some songwriting things and some performance enhancement trainings and stuff, which in some ways did me the world of good and wrecked me at the same time. But then I just realized that it's okay to write for what you're writing for at the time, and that like sometimes, all times, if you feel the need to write, good or bad, just write it. Get it out. Like maybe it sucks. That's fine. Write 10 sucky ones, you'll get one awesome one. Just don't try to polish shit.
Exactly.
If you know, like, but let it come out. Like, don't. Not every song you write's going to be a masterpiece, right? Probably like 1 in 10. Like, but get them out. Just.
Yeah, you got to do it. You're not just going to stop writing a song because it sucks, because it's the finishing of the song that's going to teach you something, and then the moving on to something.
Absolutely. And now this is neither here nor there, and it's a long story, but it's all kind of the same that relates to that. I I got kicked out of catechism before I got confirmed, And I think the last year I got to the end of school was grade 5. Anyway, I had some addiction problems. And I got sober a long time ago now. I have 19 years this year. But about a year after I got sober, I got confirmed and I got my high school education. And I realized that it just set me on this path of never finishing anything.
Hmm.
So I sort of made this promise to myself after that to just finish everything, good or bad, you know?
Mhm.
And I found if I did that, I know and then it goes back to the songwriting thing. Like if you can just clear yourself up and not be carrying stuff, and whatever that
Yep.
is, like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you feel like taking the afternoon off, just finish your day. You know what I mean? You don't like the song, just finish right. You'll feel a lot better if you do. You know, like just finish stuff
Yeah.
or you'll never finish anything.
Well, very profound realization.
But it's true, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like you practice everything you do and everything you do, you
Mhm.
know?
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
because it becomes a habit, at a
right.
certain time. Yep.
Like I think for me, like, um, both sides of my family, not to brag, but there's a lot of really talented, not necessarily artists, there's athletes, there's everything. But I think, again, I was lucky. The talent's a given. It's like, what are you going to do with it? You know, like whether you're going to turn it to sports or writing or music or carpentry or
Mm.
being a great parent. It's all art or creation.
Mhm.
And like, what do you do with the gift or whatever? Like, you know?
But you gotta do something with it,
You gotta do something.
or you probably will be sick.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you see stifled artists and they always end up with mental health and addiction or,
Yep.
you know, it's just a thing. So even, you know, my daughter, she's super creative. And I think after seeing Katie, my wife, and me, and then her older brother, like we make records, we do this, we put on art shows. Like
Mhm.
you can just do it. It doesn't need to be
Mhm.
that involved. Like if you feel the
Yep.
need to create, just do it. You don't have to make it your job, you know.
Yep. Exactly. So you're working on some new solo work?
I
Tell
am.
me. What about it?
I am. Well, it's funny. I put out Heartache 10 years ago, and I've made 4 albums since and hadn't released them. They're just, they're kind of weird, heavy, psychedelic recordings I've showed to a handful of
I think I
friends.
heard the first one. It was
People
very
that are
cool.
interested. Well, one was a concept record, which I've always
Mm.
wanted to make. And so again, I don't know. Some people just, I guess, are, you know, oh, if I could just do that. And I put it, so I'm kind of weird. I have 4 records just sitting there that I'm probably never going to release. But lately I've been working on like rock songs that sound a lot like me, I guess. I sound more Dan Currie than, and it's funny that I have been because then 2 of my friends, James Phillips and JD Hughes, who I was in the Stones tribute band with,
Mhm.
we're going to start an original band with mine and James's songs. So it's pretty exciting to get
Mhm.
I haven't had an original band of my music in a really, really, really long time. I mean, I'm still in original music, but I'm just playing guitar, not just play guitar for Dennis Ellsworth. And we put out a record a couple of years ago called Money Go Round.
Mhm.
We recorded with Joel Plaskett. I'm kind of babbling on here. But yeah, I'm really excited about the new stuff. It'd be good to do that again. I was wondering if I'd ever do it again, and I was kind of cool to never do it again.
Mhm.
But it seems like some people have been asking me, and like I said, I had this handful of songs, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and these guys asked, so hopefully by the fall we'll have some gigs.
Do you have a band name?
We don't have a band name,
Okay.
so
That's exciting. I'm
it
glad.
is exciting, and Like I say, it'll be J.D. Hughes, James Phillips, Mike Montney. I hope that's what we're talking, and they're just all three guys are just such great guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with them a lot in the past, and they're just three of my favorite guys to work with. They're just not one of them's hard,
Oh yeah.
they're just great
Yeah.
guys. And I think we'll have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, really. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's all what it's all about, right?
at the
this
end of the
point.
day. Yeah, oh yeah. Well,
Playing music in a room with a bunch of friends is killer.
oh, nothing better, really, And it's funny because, you think back in those days in your 20s and you took it so seriously, and, you get in big fights with good friends and over something so stupid, over like gigs or guitar strings. And
Yeah.
but I had a lot of fun with a lot of friends for a lot of years, and I'm a very, very, very lucky person to still, like, in the last bunch of years, I'm still pretty busy in bands, and I don't really try, and I think, imagine if I put any effort into this,
Yeah.
I've just been lucky, and I've had a really good life, and it's been really cool,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for
Awesome.
joining
Thanks
me.
for having me, Andrew. This was awesome. It's always
Yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I wondered what would be the worth of my words in the world if I write them and then recite them. Are they worth being heard? Just because I like them, does that mean that I should mic them and see what might unfurl? And I think of the significance of my opinions here. Is it significant to be giving them? Does anybody care? Just because I'm into this, does that mean that I should live like it? And really, do I dare? Art, I want you. Art, you make it pretty hard not to. And my heart is trying hard here to follow you, but I can't always tell if I ought to. So I pondered the point of my art in this life. If I make it, will someone take it and think that it's genuine? Would they be glad that I did, 'cause they got something good out of it? Would they leave me and be any more inspired? And I question the outcome of the outpouring of myself. If I tell everyone my stories, would this keep me healthy and well? Would it give me purpose and to this world some sort of service? Is it worth it? How could I tell? Art, I want you. Art, you make it pretty hard not to. And my heart is trying hard here to follow you, but I can't always tell if I ought to. Art, I want you. Art, you make it pretty hard not to. And my heart is trying hard here to follow you, but I can't